pal. Where were you?
Bandaid already scratching at the door.
My cat's screaming outside my door.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so Thomas is going to come get him because he will jump on the table and turn the stream off if I let him in here, probably. I don't know.
Yeah, cats are finicky. Dude, Bandaid did that to me once. He actually, like, I was showing him off, and he hit a button on the keyboard, and it went, and it cut.
Oh my God.
And the religious guy is still talking. It was actually really cute.
You're just like, well, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Later, dude. Well, hello, everyone. It's Thursday. It's been a while, sort of, since we've seen you. Last time we saw you, it was not the pickup line, but it was Thursday. What did we do instead?
Oh, what did we do? Well, we did a fundraiser for Recovering from Religion, where we had over 36 YouTubers for almost a 4-hour-long event, and we raised just under $6,000 for Recovering from Religion.
It was so much fun. There was a lot of beautiful faces on there.
It was. And now that we're back to the pickup line every Thursday, we will be back here each and every week. And today almost didn't happen. We had a few changes. Originally, we were going to be talking about sex work with Arden of Eden. Unfortunately, she lost power. So we're doing deal breakers and red flags. But for me, it has not been the best day. So if I'm being completely transparent with the audience, I actually did have to smoke a little extra weed to like calm down. So you're getting chill Ethan today right now.
Can I hate to do this, but I also love to do it. But can I one-up you?
Oh, please.
So speaking of changes and things that are not expected, there's very bad weather here in Texas today. I got to go home early from work because the weather was so bad. There was like an ice storm warning. So the roads were very slick, and they were like, we need to send people home. We don't want people driving out, later in the day. And I'm like, yeah, cool. I get to go home early. That's awesome. I crashed my car. I crashed my freaking car. And I was driving so safe. I braked with plenty of time, quote unquote. So I thought I was not driving that fast. I was not tailgating, and I rear-ended a guy, and I cried like a freaking baby. No one's hurt. It's okay. And you know what makes me feel better? No, it doesn't make me feel better. It makes me feel less stupid. It makes me feel grateful that I'm one of the lucky ones, because there was 100-car pileup today, this morning, the same day that I crashed. So everyone else was doing it too. No one knows how to drive. It's not just me. Some people lost their lives, and so I do not feel happy about that. But it makes me feel like, okay, I'm not a freaking idiot. Like, these things happen.
Yes.
And I'm trying to just be grateful that I am okay. The other guy was okay. He didn't yell at me, which was my biggest fear. I don't want to be yelled at. It was an accident. I couldn't stop crying. I was like, are you okay? Here's my insurance. I think it's one of those things that I'm reminded of, like, I don't like to be one of those pessimistic people who's like, hope for the worst, hope for the best, expect the worst. Like, don't expect the worst, but just learn to roll with the punches. That's all you can do.
Hope for the best, but plan for the worst.
I don't want to plan for the worst. I want to be optimistic and think everything's going to go great. But if it doesn't, I'm not going to freak out.
So I'm with you there, except when there are more extenuating circumstances or things that are greatly out of my control, I'll be more reserved and be like, okay, what's the worst that can happen? I need to plan for this, because I have impulsive behavior. I will just get up and do something, and I have to try and remember and force myself to stop and think things through and remember that just because I want to do something doesn't mean I should do something. And at times I forget that. I just get so focused on I want. Like, I always, because I felt like my personality was stifled or my expression was stifled for so long.
Right.
Now, anything that could potentially incapacitate, even temporarily, my ability to express myself, I'm like, nope, get out of my way, rather than like thinking like, okay, is this actually a rational decision?
Okay, I feel you. Well, I hope you don't feel like I'm trying to one up you, even though, like, jokingly, I kind of am. But if anything, we want you to know Ethan and Hannah are having a rough time today, but we're excited to just shoot the shit per usual. If this is your first time here, I don't know if it is or not. I'm seeing a lot of the same people in the chat, which I'm very excited about. Thank you for being here. We're going to shoot the shit and talk about red flags and deal breakers in relationships. I mean, per usual, we talk about sex, love, dating, relationships, all that jibber jabber. And we just talk candidly. We have a good time, and sometimes we share a little too much, and it can be pretty hilarious. So if you want to call in, tell us one of your deal breakers, or tell us about some red flags that you may have looked over or realized were red flags later on, or knew right away, you can call the number on the screen. It's 951-364-2430.
And don't be scared to call. Seriously, we want to hear your red flags and your deal breakers.
Yeah. And what's funny is I was talking about this with my coworker today, and I realized how funny it is how they change over time. Like my deal breakers when I was younger, or like my standards, my checklist, or what I was looking for in a relationship. I mean, this is kind of obvious. It has just changed so much over time. Like they used to be so silly.
Well, in a moment, I do want to talk about like how much skepticism has changed the way I date. But there is a story I want to tell, and this is about rear-ending people.
No. I rear-ended a guy today, and I'm really sad about it. My car's probably ruined.
This might cheer you up just a little bit.
Because you did it too. Ha, sucker.
Well, no, check it out. Okay, so this is like 15 years ago. Yeah, about 15 years ago. I am driving home from work in like the worst snowstorm. And I drink, I always have my water on me. So I'm always drinking water. And
good.
I am in the car.
I drink.
I'm in the car for like 3 hours at this point, and it's just bumper to bumper. We're on the expressway on 355. And I know at this rate, I'm not going to be home for like 90 minutes. And my bladder couldn't hold it anymore. I had drank so much water that day. So I'm like,
good for you. Stay hydrated.
It's bumper to bumper. I can do this. So I kept my other water bottle. I cut like the top of it off. And I'm, getting my pants down while we're slowly going like a mile per hour. And I start peeing in the cup. I'm like, oh my God. And it was bad. Like, this isn't something you could hold. I couldn't pull over because it was literally in the middle of the expressway. And I was going to pee my pants. So I'm just sitting there. I'm like, oh. And then next thing, oh.
No, I knew it.
I hit the car in front of me. And my pee is
with your dick out.
Yeah. And this dude like jumps out of the car fast. My pants are around my ankles. And
why are they down so far?
Because I was it was a difficult situation. Okay.
I've never tried to pee while driving, so I wouldn't understand.
I'm like and I'm like trying to like put the
you have to figure out where to put the pee and
like,
get your pants up in time before this man confronts you with your pants down.
It's getting closer and closer to the car, and I'm like, oh my God, come on. And I'm like trying to get my pants up as fast as I can, and literally just as like he's walking up, I'm like rolling the window down. I'm like, sorry about that. Let me pull over. Just give me a minute. And he could tell like I was a little frazzled. I'm like, dude, my car just slipped. I'm sorry. I wasn't going to be like, dude, I had to pee.
I was peeing. Yeah, well, sometimes you have to explain to the insurance company, and they'll ask you, like, were you on your phone or doing anything that could have been distracting while you were driving? Yes, I was urinating in a cup.
So, needless to say, and the guy was cool. I was like, look, dude, you know how insurance works. I'll pay the $500 deductible. My insurance will go up anyway. How about I just pay for the damage? And he's like, okay, cool. So it ended up costing me like $480. So I was like, man, that was a $480 urination session.
Man, you Was it worth it? Was it worth it? Did you feel better? You should have just peed your pants.
I literally would have peed my pants. It was bad.
Man, well, okay. You've one-upped me back. I have never rear-ended someone with my dick out, so.
Dude, that's one thing I do have is interesting stories for days because as you can tell, I'm a goofy dude. Things just blurt out of my mouth. I get myself into some sticky situations.
Some sticky, pissy situation. Remember that part in the beginning of this show where I said sometimes we share a little too much? I'm glad, you know what? Good. I feel better. I'm sorry that happened to you, though. Well,
so to answer Samuel's question, yeah, I would pull over next time. Dude, I was a kid, man. I didn't friggin' know. I'm like, I can pull this off. I can't pull over. Dude, actually, looking back, I probably didn't pull over because the snow was like insane. Like there was just nuts. But yeah, that sucked.
Well, my California ass is learning that, like, when people say, like, oh, the weather is bad, drive slow, you know, being in California, I was like, yeah, okay, just, like, slow down, kind of. No, slow the fuck down. It's no joke out here in Texas. Like, I've never lived somewhere with extreme weather. I didn't realize it would be a big deal. Like, I was driving a little bit slower than normal. I really was. But, like, man, 100 cars piled up. Okay, let's stop talking about fucking cars.
Right, but one more thing.
Okay.
Here's a prime example. You know how I was saying, like, my wants sometimes get me into stupid situations.
Yeah, sometimes you rear end someone with your dick out.
Well, when you put it like that.
You should have thought that one through, Ethan.
Yes, I should have. Crap, I forgot what I was going to say now.
I'm so sorry, Stony Baloney. It's okay.
That's okay. We've got plenty of rainbow barf.
Let me rewind. Let's stop talking about cars. And you said, yeah, but one more thing.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember what it was. There was one more thing about cars, and I can't think of it. Some of these cars.
Okay. Well,
just,
here.
Oh,
God.
Got it. Okay. When I say, like, for instance, the last weekend was a snowstorm, and it was a shitty snowstorm. But Ethan wanted to go play video games at his buddies and didn't want to be smart and responsible and stay home. So he went to his buddies and played video games and got stuck in driving. Like, I honestly am surprised I didn't go fly. Like, I was going on the expressway 15 miles per hour the whole way home. Like everybody was. We were trying to
be careful.
And that's a time where even my brother was like, dude, that's why I was trying to get you to have a movie night with us, man. You shouldn't have drove. And I'm like, yeah, I know. It was so stupid.
Listen, bro. You got to see the footage of what happened today on the freeway and here in, well, it happened in Fort Worth. So not where I live, but the same highway I take to work, it happened on. And a truck like went flying over traffic, dude, like a semi. Like it looked like a action movie. Yeah.
Well, it's cool. Sounds cool, but is horrific.
It looks wild, but people died. And I feel really sad because, like, it could have been any of us, man. Now I'm learning today, like, driving in intense weather is very difficult.
And that's a lot of times I keep that thought in my head when I stress out and try so hard to remember that at any moment, like, this life could be robbed from me. Like, to me, like, dude, my seizures could come back tomorrow. Like, I could go back to, like, basically living in bed all day taking seizure medicine. Like, that's no way to live, but that could happen. So when people tell me to slow down or, like, it's so hard for me to, because I think about that regularly. Like, this is my only chance. I could run out of time at any moment.
Yeah, because you and I don't believe in an afterlife, so it kind of makes time more precious here. And it's kind of fucking terrifying, but
just not to sound cheesy, but I just, like, want to do as much good as I can.
Yeah,
with
man. Leave the
my
world better than when you found it.
right. Like, find a way to make a difference in people's lives.
So segue into
Yes, because we got a
living.
call.
Do we really? I was going to say living your life to the fullest means you should also not settle. So if you have a deal breaker, stick with it, man. Don't
Ooh,
settle.
yes.
Was that
Oh,
fire or what?
yeah, you're getting good at this. You're on point.
Let's take a caller.
Let's do it. Okay, we have got this one. I don't have to call screen. I have. Oh, never mind. I was going to make an inappropriate joke. Kevin,
We don't
you
do
are
it
on
here.
with
Hi,
Hannah
Kevin.
and Ethan.
Hi, keeping with tradition. How y'all doing?
Good.
Hey, good. How are you?
Not bad. Yeah, so a little off topic, but I was just calling with some general, looking for some general relationship advice, like as being somebody who's been single for several years, and
Okay.
so,
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll try. Anything like in
generally
particular?
look- I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I might have been talking over you, but I was saying, like, did you have any like anything in particular that's on your mind right now?
Well, yeah, it's just like where to start. Like from where I've been, a lot of people have told me like go to the church to find a woman or something like that, and it's like, and I tried dating on social media a little bit, and it's been pretty unfruitful for me. So I'm like, where do you go, like to start these conversations right now, like just to try to get out there.
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. I mean, especially right now, considering everything's on lockdown, your options are even more limited. But let's pretend that this is not COVID time, I suppose. And well, I guess we could start there. Like if this was normal, Ethan, you've been single for a while. Where do you go, man?
So I have very unconventional advice in this
Yeah,
area.
Ethan might not be the best guy. I don't think he feels shy anywhere.
No, no, like, okay, that's actually not true. Like, when I'll meet someone in person, I can be actually very shy. Like, there's times I've warned people, like, just so you know, I get social anxiety. I can be socially awkward. So
Mm,
sometimes, like, I get, you know,
you a little nervous boy.
yeah, like, because again, when we grow up in a society that always tells you you're weird or different and all that stuff on repeat, you start to believe it and you're like, okay, act
Yeah.
normal.
So where do you go? Where do you go? Where do you go to meet the chicks?
Keep me on topic. So this is my unconventional advice, which I will say has been fruitful, but I try to make friends. Like, I won't really be like, hey, you want to go on a date with me? I'll be like, look, dude, you want to hang out sometime? Dude, you want to play some board games? You want to go grab a bite to eat? Hey, let's video chat. I'd like to get to know you better. Like, when you label it a date, it typically makes people more nervous on both ends. Sometimes they're even more likely to say no because they don't want to set these expectations of a date. And honestly, why date someone if you can't even be friends with them first?
So like go
So
into it with the intention of like making friends, not like meeting
yes,
like the person. Someone in
right.
the chat said like exactly what like I was thinking. Where is it? Go where Kay Thea says go where people share your interests. That's like yeah, COVID fucks it up though. That damn autocorrect. That would be my thing. Like if you like to like go to like comic book stores or go to like gaming tournaments, like go there. You're gonna meet people with the same interests. I mean, if you just like go to a bar, you're gonna meet a whole different slew of people from all different kinds of backgrounds and interests, and they might not vibe with you. Or if you like to go to I can't. I haven't socialed in so long. I'm like, where do people go? If you like to go to the local skating rink, where do people fucking go? But like, yeah, if there's something that interests you,
So
or totally kind of weird, if you are like a shy person who just like stays home and plays video games, meet someone online, man. Like, it's the freaking it's 2021. You can do that.
I will say with Facebook dating, I have probably had the most Facebook dating, or maybe Bumble. I've had the most like success, but I guess sorry, it depends on how you define success. Success as in like actually meeting a partner, no, but success in actually meeting some awesome people and just having a good time. And dude, like if you take time to make friends with people overall, it makes your life, in my opinion, so much better. Like you build connections, you learn your likes and dislikes, and when you approach it as friends, in my experience, the opposing party, should I say opposing party, the recipient, is
So
usually
official.
more likely to be themselves because they don't have that fake mentality in mind. And you'll find out, like, because too many people on their first dates are very fake. They just show you like what they want you to see.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Imagine. Oh, sorry. Go
Bust
ahead.
out the resume.
sorry, what was that, Kevin?
Oh, I was just joking. I said you got to bust out the resume on the first date.
Dude.
Yeah, it's weird.
Do you want to know what I did after I went on my last date? I sent the girl a survey. I was
It's
like,
so
dude,
freaking weird, but kind of brilliant.
I'm
Weirdest
like,
person even.
I need you to fill this out.
I hope that helps a little bit though, Kevin. Like, I think ideally, like what I think I stand by is like find like a niche activity that you can go and you will have fun and be yourself, but you're also going to meet people who are kind of similar to you. I don't know what that might be. It's going to be different for everyone, because then you're going to go into it. You won't even be disappointed if you don't like meet a person every time that could be like a partner or a potential, whatever. You're going to just go have fun and make friends anyway. And then something more could come out of that. And in my opinion, that's always been like the most fun way to like meet people. Like, because then like flings can happen or they might not. But either way, you're having fun,
And
Yeah,
here,
yeah, absolutely.
if you are, this is my suggestion, if you are going to ask a woman out on a date, be different. Be like, dude, you want to go to this well, I guess you can't really go to a haunted house right now. Haunted house,
Oh, that's cute.
escape room. Hey, you want to go dancing? Like, well, even if you can't dance, just do something like that is typically not done. And I'm not saying go all out. Like, don't go spending $200 on a first date. Like, nothing
No,
like
do
that.
it. I'm kidding.
You can make cheap, like, you can have fun for cheap, but you can still make it stand out. So my advice would be that do your best to stand out, but at the same time, don't be misleading. Like, don't go all out just to win the person over, and then all of a sudden, be who you are consistently.
But also, just to like take the pressure off of having to like ask someone out, if you're going to this like place where you're doing some kind of activity that interests you and the other person, you already kind of are like getting to know that person in that way. So it's not, I don't know, like, so there's no pressure to be like, oh, I really like this person, but how do I hang out with them? It's like you are hanging out with them,
Right.
like eventually, because you're making friends. Go make friends, Kevin. You can do it.
Working on it.
Also, get involved in like some Facebook groups, start conversations.
Yeah, like just
Out there.
anything that interests you. Like Facebook groups are awesome because they do meetups and stuff, but maybe not right now. But
Well, and then also you can oh crap, what was I gonna say?
God
Oh,
damn it, Ethan.
make a Facebook post. Be like, dude, is anybody into and then such and such activities, and see who responds. One time,
That's how Ethan found me.
that's true. I say exactly what I want on Facebook. Like one time I was like, I just need someone who wants to cuddle and get high. And I got some responses and I was like, sweet. Like,
Ethan, you're so
but don't be misleading. like, most importantly, like, I can't stand dishonesty. So don't, for instance, be like, dude, I want to like cuddle with you and watch a movie, and then all of a sudden, next thing you're trying to sleep with them. Like, don't do
Yeah,
that.
that's true. If you're looking for like sex, like that's something that is nothing to be ashamed of, but also something you should be honest about.
Yeah,
It's only a shameful thing if you like are misleading a thing about it, in my opinion.
right. Like, and in my experience, there are great a good deal of women who respect that honesty. Like, if you say, hey, I'm just looking for this, or I'm just looking for friends with benefits, like, you can actually get those things. You just, again, be transparent.
I think we're totally like going off topic from what like Kevin's question was.
Oh,
Like we're like going like so then
No,
when you get to this
very
point,
interesting.
no,
On that note, do you think more women are identifying as asexual now, or like non-binary?
well, those are two
um,
different things. Like asexual and non-binary. Did you mean one or the other or
so
Well,
asexual,
yeah, either or. I feel that, at least in my experience, many of my female friends are, as you said, they're down to cuddle and watch a movie, but there's no sexual attraction there. So that's maybe a
okay.
personal anecdote there.
well,
Hmm.
it for one, it does, dude. Cuddling is great for your mental health. Like, it is, and just having that companionship, it is, in my opinion, very beneficial. Now, you could find someone who just likes to cuddle, then you could find someone else who just wants to have sex. That can at times be more difficult to find, but if you are upfront and honest about it,
Or
it
you know what? We were gonna have a sex worker on here. You could go to Nevada if you really want to have sex. Like, there's literally, I have talked to so many guys who are like, you're not a real man if you have to pay for sex. Fuck
oh,
that, man.
dude, I have actually legitimately considered paying for sex.
Why
And
wouldn't you? If it's something you want and you're having a hard time finding a consenting partner, like, not that I'm saying like sex workers aren't consenting, like, find someone who is. But like, there's literally like if you just want sex and your game like isn't on point, I think people need to stop shaming it.
it's not just that. It's okay. I am a very, very busy person. I have my day job. I work 40, 45 hours a week with that. Although I've been working a lot more lately. Then I have this YouTube thing, which is full time. Like,
Right.
it's not only the 2 hours, on the 3 streams when I'm live. There is so much work that goes in behind the scenes. So at times it'd be like, well, wait, if I just had someone right now, one that I didn't have, I could just be straightforward and honest with, just for this like 2 hours, that'd be great. Like, and there should be nothing wrong with that. And if I wanted to pay for that, there should be no negative stigma against me as a man, because it's not that I have trouble finding it, but sometimes
That's a really good point.
it's an alternative, because also, like, I'm always like, the older I've gotten, the more scared I am to lead somebody on or hurt somebody. And I'm just like,
That's a really good point.
it's yeah, dude. I know that sometimes I've been in situations where a woman's like, I'll be fine, it's no big deal. And I'm just like, I've gone down this road before, and it ends up
I
somebody's
don't want
getting
anyone getting hurt. Yeah.
hurt.
Anyway. No, that's some so I just realized something about me. I think I have like a stigma in my mind, even though I'm totally fine with sex work, about the men who pay for it, even though I like advocate for there not being any shame in it. Like, but there's so many other reasons to want to get, a sex worker or escort or whatever, other than, oh, you're not good enough to get a girl on your own. Like, some people are just busy. Like, I guess I just never like considered that, and I just feel like I don't know, changed my outlook that I didn't realize I had, and that's kind of cool.
Yay. Um,
So I don't
I
know. I hope some of this helps, Kevin. I know that we went all over the place with this.
No, absolutely, and appreciate both your input and what you do, and thank you for taking my call.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks
Have a
for
good one.
calling.
All right.
Dude, that was a good call.
This was a good call. We
If
still,
I'm-
hey, real quick, give me one of your, I already know what it is, so I'm going to like pat myself on the back if I'm right, but what's a deal breaker for you?
oh crap.
I know what it is.
Well, say it.
Dishonesty.
Oh, how did you, dude? Yes. Although I have found another deal breaker that, well, I shouldn't call it a full on deal breaker, but it's starting to feel like it's getting to that point where it's a deal breaker because I am a skeptic. I can't turn my brain off. Like I naturally, and the older I get, the more I try and break things down and understand them. And some things make sense and some things don't. So
Good for you.
when, and I guess this goes into the dishonesty part, but like had recently been talking with someone and we're having this great conversation. And then next thing I know, she's going into the energy manipulation and she can see and touch my soul. And I'm just like, no,
Okay.
nope,
So
nope.
like you kind of need someone on the same page as you as far as like,
Right. Like,
yeah,
and I was
how
like,
you think the world works and stuff.
right. And I was like, hey, I'll deal with this on YouTube. I love having these conversations, but not in my personal life, not in my, like, in a relationship. Like I couldn't listen to that all day. Because I don't believe it. And if I don't know how I could be with someone that wasn't at least in the same ballpark. And I want to be very clear. I'm not referring to intelligence in any capacity.
Right.
Brilliant people far smarter than me who believe in God and believe in the supernatural. But for me personally, I can't stop dissecting things. And therefore, like, I just don't buy into it.
Yeah, no, I dated someone with a different like belief system than me who like because I was an atheist, it actually caused problems. And let me elaborate. He was raised Catholic, and I'm actually having trouble remembering where he stood when we dated, but I know that he held on to a lot of those like core values and traditions, and the fact that like he was kind of proud that his family was Catholic. And I had no problem with that. But when I would start to speak my mind on my opinions and how I felt like things worked, and I'm very vocal about the harm that religion does cause, he started to get very offended. And I understand why, but I don't feel like in a relationship with my person who I want to be my 100% self around, that's something that I could like contain. Like I have to. Like it's something that I'm very passionate about. It's I like to say like, oh, I'm an atheist, but like I'm a normal person. But it is a big part of my life. Like, I mean, it's how I interact with the world.
Right. And oh, sorry, please.
No. I just started making weird noise. I don't know.
And I will, like, when I've made comments on my Facebook about like looking for atheist women and be like, well, what do you have against Christians? Why wouldn't you date a Christian woman?
It's that you can't like not you're gonna fucking offend them.
Right. I'm like an outspoken atheist YouTuber. And it's not only that. Do you know that every Christian I've ever dated has always ended up having an issue with the fact that I don't have faith? So, like, why would I keep investing in relationships with people that would continually have an issue with that? And
Yeah.
again, I need someone that's on the same page. That was
And that's just a personal preference. Like I know
right.
people who are in a relationship with like, a theist with an atheist, and I, as far as I know, they're fine. But just for me, deal breaker, man.
Deal breaker, calling the YFNA show without knowing the topic. No,
You know what's funny, Kevin, is we just now started actually talking about the topic. Like before you called, we didn't make it very clear. It's fine.
Honestly, we're always ready to give. Well, we're always willing.
I'm always willing to try my best.
Exactly.
And honestly, Ethan, it's our goddamn show. If we stray from the topic,
we're going to stray from the topic. But yeah, like if you need relationship or dating advice, I'm no expert, but I can only tell you like what's worked for me. And again, I don't know. My advice is unconventional. I don't know that many men could get away with saying, hey, why don't you come over and like cuddle and watch a movie where the women would actually believe it? Because
Yeah, you're kind of ballsy. Like, just to put it absolutely bluntly, like, you're kind of ballsy. Like, before like we were like doing this, I remember seeing one of your posts that was like, I think it was I just want someone who can come over and smoke and cuddle. And I was like, what's with this guy? Because I wasn't like, I don't know. I don't see people post stuff like that. Like, normally people like kind of want to play it cool with ulterior motives and not like, or they don't, I don't know. I think it takes like a certain amount of like vulnerability to be like, hello, I would like a companion, please. Like, I don't know. And I thought it's kind of sweet.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. It kind of threw me off at first because I was like, either this guy's like sweet and honest or he's fucking weird.
That's where my mouth at times gets me in trouble because I'll say things like that and people are like, what's with this guy? And I'm just honestly, like, I'm just saying what's on my mind.
Once one talks to you for like less than 5 minutes, it's like, okay, he's just a goob. He's harmless.
My favorite was when was actually like I had messaged Holly from Table for Two originally, and like I had said she made a post about karaoke. She was one of the people that inspired me to start just posting what I want because she did that. She's like, I need a wingman and a karaoke buddy, and I responded. And she later told me, she's like, yeah, I just thought you wanted to sleep with me. And I remember like after we met, she's like, so you were actually telling the truth. You didn't want to sleep with me. I'm like, I told you, dude. I just wanted a karaoke buddy.
I just wanted to freaking get some bops out. Man. All right. Deal breaker number 2.
Yes.
Wait, well, technically 3. Dishonesty, having different religious beliefs. And like literally it's no hate against like religious people. It just doesn't work in our relationships.
Well, also moving too fast. Like when I see someone that's like, hey, within 2 years I want to be married. Like,
oh yeah, I've
see ya.
I think when I was 23, I was dating a guy for like a little bit. We were like hooking up, and like I could tell he kind of liked me, but I was hung up on an ex, and he was a rebound. He was cute. Okay, anyway. Very stupid though. Oh shit. I don't care if he watches this. He was mean to me later on. He was like, yeah, I just really like by the time I'm 25, want to get a girl pregnant. Like, okay. It's not gonna happen. Goodbye. But you're very cute.
That's actually would be another topic is relationships and children, or should you have children? Because I will say
that's gonna be a very touchy topic.
Well, the older I get, the more I am actually having a hard time with the idea of people just continuing to have babies without thinking about it, because everyone like, they just want to have kids, but you have to stop and ask yourself if you should have kids. And people, they don't do that.
You need to be careful. No, I'm telling you. Yes, not people people who are having sex unprotected. You need to be careful because it's a human life. But also, Ethan,
what did I do?
Careful. People have. I'm just saying things happen, and it's hard. It's easy to judge. Okay.
Oh, I'm not judging, dude.
You are a little bit.
No.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm encouraging is people to say, hey, I know I want to have a child, but I need to be considered. I should. Not only am I financially or emotionally ready, but here, I'll give you myself, for example. I suffer from ADHD, anxiety, depression. It's something I'm going to have to deal with for the rest of my life. I had to deal with epilepsy. Do I really want to risk bringing a child in the world that could suffer from the same things I've suffered from, or possibly worse? Like, I need to factor that in, that they have a possible likelihood of getting that. And additionally, what if I get worse? What if my seizures come back and I just went ahead and had a kid. And then 2 years from now, I'm in, first I'm in a wheelchair, next I'm paralyzed. Like I'm not trying to be rude. I just wish people would think about it more because
Okay, we need to talk about this another time because I have so many questions for you.
okay.
I want to actually kind of debate you on this.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Let's like next week, like okay, we're gonna have to talk about this behind the scenes because I don't want to waste too much time, but like
Okay.
I fucking disagree with you. And I want to pick your brain so much. I think I disagree with you, and I'm really curious to find out where I think I stand on this.
Me too. And now I want to do this, but
We'll talk about it. We'll figure it out. That might happen next week. We'll see.
we do have a caller.
Cool. Let's do it.
Okay. Oliver, you are on the line.
Hello.
Hey, you're on the line with Hanna.
Oliver. I'm sorry.
Hi. Thank you for taking my call. I just discovered you recently. Big fan. Sorry you're having tough days, but I want to say thank you for everything you do. I truly believe you are helping so many people with their day. So thank you for that. And I actually had a question about what I've thought about was a deal breaker on my part for a potential person I dated. So, Ethan, you mentioned seizures and being on medication in bed. Well, that's been mostly my story for almost 6 years. I have sadly physical and mental problems.
I'm sorry.
I may appear normal for short periods of time, maybe a couple hours, sometimes maybe a couple of days, but I can't keep it up forever. And unfortunately, my body physically, sometimes I just have to crash and rest. And sometimes my brain just can't handle either. And I just start either speaking gibberish, or I just forget so much, and a lot of various things. Now, I completely agree that you should not settle. I've been a huge believer in that all my life, so I love that. But a concern I've had in the last 6 years or so is, well, I would love to not settle and have the relationship that I've always wanted to have, but I don't want someone else settling. But I also love you have to be honest. You have to be truthful. I've been a truth seeker all my life. So I'm kind of wanting to pick your brains on this. And I just caught your little debate challenge on the whole having children thing. And that's something I've been struggling in the past few years myself, because I've wanted a family for a very long time, but I've caught myself thinking, is that wise for me to have children if I end up having the relationship I want to have? So I want your input. I'd like your thoughts on all this.
So something you mentioned earlier makes me want to ask, do you feel like someone would be settling if they were with you?
For a long time I did. And it took several years to really come out of that state of mind. And so now what I've been thinking in recent is there are people that don't get hung up on any one particular thing, or they're not focused. You could say closed-minded, but I guess if we all are, and it just happens to be what they focus on. And I know there are people that are very caring, and some are very caring in specific ways, such as, for example, being a caretaker, caregiving kind of person. And if I found myself in a relationship with a person like that, it could work. I just don't know if it would be more, am I just scratching their itch? So I'm conflicted with that.
I wish I could. It's hard for me. Like, I want to give advice, but also like I don't know what it's like to have to need a caretaker. And I know that there's a lot that goes into being able to accept that. But I do know of a lot of interabled relationships, or, you know, where the relationship where they're both disabled. And I just, it like breaks my heart to hear that, because I'm like, oh my gosh, like you absolutely are worthy of love.
Absolutely.
And I hope you know that too. But I also can't act like I understand what it's like to accept love from someone when you know, when you feel that way, because I've never had to experience that. But I know, as someone who would absolutely care for someone who I loved if they needed it, I would never want that person to feel like a burden, you know?
Thank you for saying that, because I have been on both sides of that line. Years ago, I thought much quicker, but also physically, I was super active, and I've had friends and family that were disabled physically and mentally, and I cared for them. I loved my family, but I knew that I didn't understand it to that same level. But it wasn't until I was in those shoes myself that I really started to understand that I didn't understand it firsthand. So I do get that. So thank you for sharing that. That means a lot. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. I never want to like undermine,
No,
you
and
know?
that's I don't even know how to give advice in this area, because I'll go into it later how this kind of affected me in a different way, but I don't even know what to say. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, I feel like you could probably relate a little bit to like knowing what it's like to have like a life-changing like condition, and the way you feel when you have a partner, you know, and involving that. I can only speak from what I know, and to say that as someone who I've never had to caretake though either. So like that's really hard. But I know that like my partner right now, if something were to happen to him, I absolutely would continue to care for him, and would never want him to feel like a burden. That's all I can really say, is that, you know, you have love to give, and you know, it might not, certain people might not be cut out to take on the life that you have, but I hope that you do find that person. And I don't think that you should let them hold you. I don't think that should let you hold that. You should let that hold you back from trying to find love and happiness, you know?
And I would
Okay.
say,
Okay. I appreciate that. That does make sense. I do believe that, you know, human beings, they deserve care and love, and it doesn't matter whatever ailments befell upon them. So yeah, I do believe that. I strongly do.
And I'm sure that you have a lot to offer, you know? Everyone does.
Well, it's really nice to hear this. Forgive me, I'm getting a little shy and nervous, so I
You're
start but it's really nice to hear this, and I'm glad I got the courage to call, because
Me too.
I thought it was so serendipitous. I don't particularly believe in like the whole faith kind of miraculous coincidence. I don't believe in that anymore. My journey to atheism has been a roller coaster, but I do find it serendipitous that when I discovered your channel, I made it I put a reminder to catch you live on your next showing. And then Ethan, when I heard you talking about seizures and medication, being in bed, it's like, holy cow. Okay, I'm gonna call. First time viewer live.
I'm glad you did. It was
I must say thank you for this opportunity.
You are getting a lot of love in the comments section. A whole bunch of people are saying they love your call. So Oliver, you've been a sweetheart, and very nice. Been very nice talking to you.
I really hope I hear from you again, Oliver.
Same.
Well, I've been enjoying the little bit of the videos that I've seen so far. I really like both your demeanors, and I'm looking forward to learning more about what you have to share. So and by the way, I already subscribed, so count me as a regular viewer.
Thank you so much, Oliver. It was great talking to you. I appreciate it very much. And
Likewise.
I hope you have a good rest of your night. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you. Thank you. You both do the same.
All right. Good night. Dude, what a great call.
I'm emotional.
I could tell.
It's just like
This is
I don't know. I don't know. It gave me a lot to think about because like I don't understand what it's like to go through that. But I can empathize, you know? Like I don't know. It makes me I just want to hug everyone.
And I had a very cold approach with when it was getting very debilitating. Like I would repeatedly tell my wife at the time that if I get stuck in a wheelchair or if something happens to me, if I get in an accident, I'm like, you move on. You are not going to live the rest of your life taking care of me. And she's like, would you do that to me? And my response would always be, that's different. I would take care of you. I can't let something happen to you. But I would be insistent that if something happened to me, that she just move on with her life and not take care of me. And
It's different. Like, yeah, like when you love someone, like, I don't know, like I'm sorry, like that was a lot to like think about. There's a really wonderful YouTube channel. They're called Squirmy and Grubs. And their like channel is basically to just like normalize and spread awareness on interabled relationships. The man in the relationship has, I think, like some form of muscular dystrophy. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
And the girlfriend is able-bodied, and they started dating, and she became his full-time caregiver, and now they're married. But they're so cute to watch because like they're so in love, and what breaks my heart is like the comments that people leave on that. I don't know. It's just there's so many relationships like that, and they can work, and they do work. And it like breaks my heart that people who go through that feel like they deserve to be alone because of it, or they feel like no one's going to accept them. It's like, I can only speak from my experience that if you love someone, you will do anything for them. And it's different when you love someone and then something happens to them. But there are people who like fall in love with people who already have, like, they're aware that these conditions exist, you know? So I don't know. I'm just fucking emotional right now.
No, it's okay. Do you know how many times I said to her, like, that and this is a shitty thing to say, but that I wished I was dead so she could get a better life. Like, I hated how much it just it ruined my life, man. I could barely function. I was a lot heavier. I at times had to lay in bed all fucking day from the seizures. And it was just so debilitating and took its toll. And I did not want her to have to spend the rest of her life with somebody that was just all fucked up.
Stop it. No more. This is supposed to be a fun show. No.
Hannah, why'd you have to get so emotional?
It's not my fault. I think just that last call was very touching, you know?
And tomorrow I'm going to be so mad at myself because I've still got that inner male ego, don't cry.
You fucking cried on your fucking podcast. You fucking cried.
What are you, a woman?
You're
Don't
gonna
do
cry?
that.
You're gonna
Yeah,
piss your pants in the car?
Like,
It's okay to cry. It's okay
You
to
know what?
cry. Everyone does it.
the more and it's funny, like I have always been a very emotionally in control person, but the more I learn about myself and like the medical traumas I experience, the more I've realized just how much it's screwed up my life. And even though I am healthy and I have so much to live for, like earlier today, I was just thinking about how emotionally I'm like 5 to 6 years behind because I went 5 years without learning, without growing, without developing my emotions. I was just nothing. And I feel like I'm not as mature or as smart as I should or could be because of that shit. And I think that's one of the reasons why I also like feel a tremendous amount of guilt for the people that stuck through with me during that, and like how I was just like a friggin' I felt like a leech. I was worthless.
Well, you're not, and you weren't.
I really was pretty worthless.
You were going through a thing, man, and you would stick by someone who was going through a thing too.
Absolutely, in a
See,
heartbeat.
why is it okay? Like, why is it okay for someone else to go through it, Ethan, but not you?
I don't have a good answer for that, but I
Just think about it. Chew on that for a minute, okay?
don't want someone to be like miserable because of me. And it's wrong to think that they would be miserable because there's no
No, I mean, I think it means you care about the way other people feel. But I don't know, man. Change the fucking topic. Change the title of this episode because we talked about deal breakers for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. What are we going to change this episode title to? In the comments, help us out. What should we name this episode? Because I
Big
have to
fucking crybabies who had a bad day, so they got on their podcast and they fucking cried.
I'm so gonna name it that.
The pickup line: Ethan and Hannah are crybabies.
Well, if we don't have a name for the episode from the comment section by the end of this episode, I'm gonna be
We have
naming
2
that.
minutes. But no, it's okay. You know, honestly, we got a little derailed. Like things, our topic got a little changed. We lost our guest for the time being. We will try to reschedule, and that's okay. But we just try to roll with the punches. And I feel like we had a good talk. I'm happy.
Good. And to answer Kaitlyn's question, no. Because I was always, I don't know, I was always like a caretaker. Like I always did everything I could to take care of her. I still do. Like, because while we're not together and we do not click at all like that, she's still my best friend, and I still want nothing but her to be okay and her to be happy, which is so hard to explain to like people I'm potentially dating, like this closeness that we have. But that's the thing, like we bonded through a traumatic experience. So we have
trauma bonding. That's another topic for another day.
we have this unbreakable connection that is like a brother and sister. Like there's nothing physical. And but it's so hard to explain because it's like, dude, she's my best friend. Like I can't, that's not gonna change.
Right.
Oh, I already told you that. Never mind.
It's okay. It's totally fine.
The
who said title, what a frickin' day.
You know what? I like that. What a frickin' day.
Or catharsis. Laughing and crying.
We're called what a freaking day. I'm changing the title right now. Unless you have
No, that's the winner. Who said that? Friend Wilson, thank you. Because it really has been a frickin' day. And I really appreciate that you guys tuned in to just like listen to us kind of stay on topic, talk about crashing cars while pissing in cups, crying,
Yeah.
and trying to
Which
get relationship advice, although we're not professionals. And I don't know
Which-
why y'all trust us.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna totally be regretting tomorrow, and I'm gonna be literally so hard on myself for letting myself get emotional and not being,
Everyone in the comments, tell Ethan why that's stupid.
I gotta be a strong man.
Everyone in the comments, tell Ethan why that's stupid. It's okay to freaking cry, man. Everyone cries.
And that also goes into like, it sucks, but like, I have that in my brain, and like, if like say a male is talking to me and they're like having a bad day, even though my words are empathetic and I do genuinely feel bad, I still get that stupid voice in my head that's like, don't be a baby, be a man. And it's like, oh my God. Like, I wish I could take that part of my brain and just like cut it out. Like,
Yeah.
why couldn't the part, it's like, I obviously have brain damage. Why couldn't that be the indoctrination? Like that, it could have damaged that area.
I think I'm so lucky. I cry all the goddamn time. Like I think crying is what got me out of getting yelled at by that man today. Because I'm just like this poor little lady crying. Oh, I'm sorry I crashed into your car. I don't know how to fucking drive.
You should have said, I'm just a woman.
I know. That's literally like I was just talking shit to I was talking shit to myself after, and I was just like, oh, fucking stupid girl, don't want to fucking drive. Like, I'm joking, obviously. I'm a good driver.
Sure you are.
Shut the don't you.
I call bullshit, and not because you're a woman, but because you have ADHD like me. Although I'm actually a good driver.
I'm a fantastic driver. I love driving.
I used to love driving, not so much anymore.
Should we let these people get to sleep?
Oh, yeah, sorry, dude. By the way, Hannah, I'm totally grateful for you because I'm so glad we did this together because, man, for those who don't know, like I had said earlier, I was having a shitty fucking day because some shit happened that really put my mind in a blender. And like normally I would have just like been miserable to myself, but I got to come on and do this show with you. And I'm like, nope, I know once I get on screen with Hannah, Hannah's going to be her goofy self and I'm going to be fine. And I had so much fun. So thank you.
Well, this was the highlight of my day too. It really was. So thank you.
But let me thank our patrons real quick. Jonathan Friedel, City Plaza, Kenneth Leonard, Kathy Letto, JumpandShoot, Ian Oz, Philip Leitch, Kaitlyn Beyond, Ian Davenport. You are all awesome. Thank you so much for your patronage. If you like what we do, consider donating it for as little as $1 a month. YouTube is sucking right now. We're 7 weeks waiting to get monetized, Hannah, so we could start getting super chats, but still have, and other
I'd
channels.
love to get super chats.
Yes. Other channels are getting monetized in like 2 days, and I'm on week 7. Like, what is this?
It's because you are the friendly neighborhood atheist. It is why.
I'm just gonna have to change the name to get monetized and then change the name back or something.
That's stupid. Don't do that.
It sucks because I did consider changing it to Ethan Micheal, but then I'm like, no, because then Ethan Micheal looks like it's just me, and this channel isn't just me. It's a community. It's a neighborhood.
Right.
Well,
thanks for stopping by, everyone. We're really, this was, like I said, this was the highlight of my day. And thank you to everyone who stopped by and helped make our days better.
Yeah. Good night, everyone.
Night night.
Next week. You, the one watching this video, how you doing?